All right, so let's switch our aggression to some of these baseball games. All right, so it's a Friday, so that usually means we have a ton of baseball games to choose from. So, Jinx, we were laughing about this the other day. Like, sometimes a good strategy in playing baseball is just choosing a pitcher that's very fade worthy and saying, hey, I'm going to take the other side. So, Patrick Corbin has been the butt of many gamblers' jokes for a while. Some
Oh
people
yeah.
have even dubbed his starting day Fade Patrick Corbin Day. But it's not really been the case this year. He's 2-1. He has a 3.28 ERA. He's
Yeah.
pitching for the Rangers, but he is going against Tariq Skubal. So this price is steep for the Tigers, minus 275. And listen, I think if you play this one, it's not because you think Patrick Corbin is an auto fade. I think it's simply because the Tigers have the best run differential in baseball, and this is their ace. So you could argue, the Tigers on the run line here because the Rangers' offense is not that great. Or I suppose you could say, hey, if you bank on both these pitchers being good, maybe a first five under. But this total is really low. 7.5 is the full game total.
Yeah, it's a little too juicy. I kind of like the Tigers on the first 5 run line, but it's minus 154. It's palatable,
Yeah.
but it's kind of Here's the thing about Patrick Corbin. I'm actually happy for him because look, he got paid, okay, but he got a lot of derision during the latter stages of his career with the Nationals when he was just eating innings and getting crushed. But I mean, he was a part of the World Series team. That's why I got paid. And yes, he's 2-1, 3.28 ERA. But this Tigers team rakes off of lefties. You mentioned the run differential. They're also fifth in the majors in OPS and slugging against left-handed pitchers. Then conversely, you have the Rangers not nearly as good. Tigers are also the third best team in the first 5 in all of Major League Baseball. You mentioned Skubal on the mound, so it might be 1-0, but after 5 innings, that's still good enough to get the dub. So I would lean Tigers first 5 run line, but it's probably too pricey.
Yeah, it's like Dunkin' Donuts at like 11 a.m. It's like all you get is like the old fashioned that's like stale and they made it at 6 a.m. But yeah, I feel like if there is a play in that game, it is the Tigers in some way, shape, form, or fashion. All right, free roll for you, Jenks. Where do you want to go next in MLB?
You know what I want to do? I want to take it down to the sports basement. Double D.
Sports basement. Do,
Sports
do, do,
basement.
do, do.
Dude, oh my God. We can't do this without the music. It's not going to have any sort of effect at all. All right.
Here we go.
It's the Sports Basement.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf! We want it now!
All right. We're having some technical problems this morning. No big deal. No big deal. Hey, great to be with you live from Mom's Basement. And that reminds me, this weekend is Mother's Day, and we have a sweet deal for all of our listeners out there. Just mention the phrase Sports Basement at Mitchell's Downtown Muffler and Lube, and any mom that stops by on Sunday gets $1.25 off her final bill. Except for Becky. She got her lube job from Todd last week. You didn't think I'd say it. You didn't think I'd say it, Todd. Yeah, I got you, buddy. I got you, buddy. All right, don't at me. Don't at me. Everyone here loves and respects Becky and her personal decisions. Look, we got the Yankees tonight taking on the A's out in Sacramento. And, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but a lot of runs out there in Sacktown. That's what I call it, Sacktown. Maybe it's been said before, maybe it hasn't. But let's just go with the over out in Sacktown.
Oh, God. Has the sports basement been hanging out with the donkster?
Sounds like
Lube
it.
job?
Well,
My goodness. I just ate breakfast.
Because these are kids, all right? These are kids, that's why. These are kids, and they're just trying to find their way in the sports radio and podcasting world. Also, he got his buddy Todd. Becky's always part of the sports basement in some way, shape, or form.
Poor Becky. Poor Becky. For that $1.25 off their whatever their service is. What a snag. What a deal. No, I will not be heading down to the auto parts for my $1.25 off. So was there a play in there? I wasn't even paying attention because I was so
awesome.
confused by the lube joke. So do you like the over in this game? Like, I know we were just joking about it, but it's 10.5 because obviously I saw this matchup between two top 10 offenses. The A's, surprisingly so, sitting in the top 10 of most offensive splits. And
Yeah.
of course, the Yankees. We know they rake. But this is a total of 10.5 now. Jenks, do you still go to the over? I didn't listen to your handicap. I'm sorry.
You could lube it down to 10 and go with the over instead of 10.5 if you wanted to. Grease her down to 10, hit the over if you want.
Lube it down?
Lube her down. I mean, you got Will Warren has not been good. ERA of 5.65. Osvaldo Bido, ERA of 4.71. I know it's very simple just to say, ooh, look at these ERAs. But if you're talking about two pitchers that have been very middling and two offenses, particularly the Yankees, I mean, this is not the Athletics team from a couple years ago. They can swing the bat. So with the number of runs we've seen at that park, I mean, it's definitely a hitter's park in a big way. So, yeah, I would still go over here. And the sports basement likes it as well.
I'm just hoping we don't use the word lube anymore on this show today. I think we've hit our quota. But, yeah, over 10 for minus 130, I think that's playable. Because I feel like all the factors line up. You have two good hitting lineups and two mid pitchers. Yeah, over 10's the play, especially because this one is at Sutter Health Home Park, or whatever the name is. Sutter Home, I think, is the wine. Sutter Health, I think, is the name of. There we go. All right. So next up, how about let's go to this one? So Marlins and White Sox. The White Sox, I feel like you can make a good case to fade them any day of the week, but the Marlins are minus 150. I think Max Meyer is a player or a pitcher that we have backed before on the show.
Yes.
Are you willing to back him again against one of the worst offenses in all of baseball?
That's what I think. Max Meyer's a guy we trusted early in the season, and now he's really struggled last couple times out. He's given up 5 runs in each of his last 2 outings, but those games were against the A's and the Mariners. And we were talking about the A's bats. The Mariners can really hit, which is wild to think about, but they are a great hitting club. The White Sox are battling the Rockies for some of the worst metrics in baseball when it comes to their production. And then conversely, they're starting Bryce Wilson. I mean, Bryce Wilson is essentially a converted reliever. He's not going to go long in this game. So the White Sox got to win an extra innings in his last appearance, but for the most part, he'll go a couple innings and then turn it over to that White Sox bullpen, which is not good. The Marlins bullpen is also pretty bad. So I think you go Marlins first 5 on the money line. It's also around 150 again. A little juicy there. Not my favorite play, but anytime you can fade the White Sox, you're not doing a bad job.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go because I think it's a good buy low spot on Max Meyer. I was looking for his earned runs prop. I can't find anything over at MGM right now. But you look at those offenses, and you said it. Those are 2 of the better offenses in baseball, surprisingly so. Like, I keep seeing the Mariners at the top of the, splits leaderboard, and I'm like, what?
It's crazy.
The Mariners? But you're right. But if you look at Max Meyer, he is somebody who has an extremely high upside. He struck out 14 against the Reds in 6 innings of work and didn't allow a single run. So there is high-end potential there for Max Meyer. So maybe if we get some props on him later in the show, maybe it's worth taking a look at an under on his earned runs, or maybe you take a look at his strikeout prop, or you just go Marlins in the first 5. I think either way, that's a pretty solid one to look at.